The Mini Zapper is here because I'm doing a light gun game today, and that game is Sentinel for your Atari 7800, which according to the label art is about Earth being invaded by giant marbles and triangles made out of Jolly Ranchers. Great, let's go ahead and take Sentinel, pop it in my Atari 7800 Pro System, and see how it holds up today. Let's go to the game. Watch out for the marbles! Sentinel was published by Atari and released only in the PAL format overseas in 1991. It is most likely the last Atari 7800 game to be officially released worldwide. It is a light gun game that uses the Atari light gun that came bundled with the Atari XE system, but it was hard to find sold separately. According to the manual, you are a scientist and you have created an energy-absorbing orb called the Sentinel. The Earth is being attacked by aliens and surprise, surprise, your Sentinel is the only thing that can stop them. Help us, Sentinel 1, you're our only hope. Sentinel is for 1 or 2 players alternating with 3 modes of difficulty, easy, standard, and hard. It has 4 levels, each which plays mostly the same except for some different enemies and increasing difficulty as you progress. On each level, the Sentinel starts on the left and automatically scrolls to the right, with a radar screen showing you how far you have progressed on the bottom of the screen. Each level is filled with enemies to shoot to protect the Sentinel, some on the air and some on the ground. You can also shoot the projectiles they fire, trying to prevent them from hitting your orb. If they shoot or collide with the Sentinel, they will zap some energy off the strength bar on the bottom. If the bar fully depletes, you lose 1 of your 4 lives, and there are no continues or extra lives in the game. If you shoot an enemy, the Sentinel can actually absorb some of their energy. There are also some things that look like floating floppy disks. Shooting one of these will give you one of several bonuses, including extra energy, absorbing energy on the screen, an energy pod that temporarily helps protect you, fast movement, and automatically destroying the enemies on the screen. You can also use a super shot when the bottom of your screen says it's ready by shooting the Sentinel itself, which will destroy all flying enemies on the screen. After using it, you will have to wait a while before it's ready again. At the end of each level is a boss made of 4 parts. Each part has to be shot multiple times until all the parts are destroyed. Graphically speaking, the game didn't do much for me. The shape-based enemies seemed kinda bland and sometimes blended into the backgrounds. Sound and music-wise, the sounds weren't that great, but the music was okay until it started repeating so much that it almost became annoying. It would have been nice if they could have had different music for each of the levels, but instead it's all the same. And since you're just shooting shapes, it's a pretty family-friendly game. At the time of my research on eBay, in the US, new copies were going for $20, but since most gamers can't play PAL games in the US, it wasn't in demand. Overseas, copies were selling for $20 to $30, including shipping. One thing you might notice is that the manual was on the outside of the box under the shrink wrap, and resembled more of a Xerox copy than a finished manual, showing that the game was truly rushed out the door in a not fully finished manner. So what did I think of Sentinel? Well, 7800 fans here in the States aren't really missing out. For one thing, the game lacks personality. Shooting shapes to protect a big circle is not very exciting. And the game is incredibly hard even on the easiest setting. There were so many enemies attacking on screen that my hand was getting cramped from shooting so much. I actually had to switch hands in the middle of my game due to the discomfort. And since I was firing so much, there was a lot of flashing on the screen that was distracting as well. By standing close to the screen, I did make it to the last boss once, but once he beat me, I had little desire to try it again. The game is just that unappealing. So where am I going to rank Sentinel? Well, as you guessed, pretty low. I'd rather play Jinx again, which is ranked at the 44 position, which wasn't that good, but at least it didn't hurt my hands, but I will put Sentinel over the frustrating Fight Night at 45. So out of the 49 Atari 7800 games I've now ranked, Sentinel is being chased by shapes into the 45 position. Sentinel didn't get a release here in the States, but that's okay with me. So what do you think of Sentinel? Whether you agree or disagree with me, feel free to let me know in the comments below. Also, feel free to click the like and subscribe buttons. If you'd like to support the show, you can do so at Patreon. Just go to patreon.com/NoSwearGamer for more information. I'm also a member of the Retro Junkies Network. You can find more retro podcasts and videos at theretrojunkies.com. Thank you for giving me a little part of your day, and I look forward to seeing you next time in the next episode of the No Swear Gamer. Take care and watch out for random shapes chasing you.